Welcome to Challenge Accepted with Jonah C., the podcast where we decode what the universe is trying to tell you, one message at a time, where we also listen deeper, think higher, and answer the call of something greater. You didn't press play because you were curious. You pressed play because your soul whispered, now. This is Messages from the Universe, Volume 3. These are the alignment codes, not advice, not hype, but transmissions from the you were always becoming. These are not messages you'll agree with. They're messages that will move you. Messages that don't flatter your comfort zone. They decode your next dimension. Listen, decode, integrate. You're not just receiving this, you're remembering it. Are you ready? I am. I'm Jonah. I'm your person. Let's get to it. You keep wondering why certain people show up in your life. Why the same triggers, patterns, chaos, and emotional reruns that find their way back to you again and again. You think, why do they treat me like this? But the question the universe is whispering is, why do you keep accepting it? See, the mirror doesn't lie. But what you see in it depends on what you believe about yourself. If you've normalized being overlooked, you'll attract people who ignore your value. If you're afraid of conflict, you'll draw the very energy that tests your boundaries. If you secretly believe you have to earn love, you'll chase people who make you prove it. That's not fate, that's frequency. And every mirror reflects not just who you are, but what you tolerate. And every time you try to wipe the outside of the mirror, you're missing the fact that the smudge is on your lens, not the world's. Challenge yourself. Sit alone, undistracted for 10 minutes, and then ask yourself this: what am I pretending not to know? And then write down the first truth that scares you. Then circle it. That's your alignment assignment. You ever ignored a gut feeling and later said, damn, I knew it? Yeah, that's not hindsight. That's intuition. That's your soul's GPS rerouting you before you needed the tow truck. The problem isn't that you don't know what to do. It's that you're afraid of what might happen if you actually trust yourself. You're scared that choosing what feels aligned might offend someone. It might disappoint expectations. It might make you look crazy. But let me remind you, your intuition doesn't need permission to protect you. And your peace isn't up for public approval. The more you override that internal GPS, the more you normalize getting lost. And you weren't meant to follow every trend. You weren't built to blend into every room. You are a unique signal, not a duplicate broadcast. Challenge yourself. Replay a moment this week where you felt a nudge and ignored it. Ask, what would have happened if I listened instead of overthinking? Then, on the very next intuitive nudge, act. No debate. Immediate obedience to your inner compass is alignment in motion. You thought healing would feel like light beams and relief, like gratitude playlists and walks in nature. But it doesn't always look like that. Sometimes it looks like breaking down mid-sentence, or avoiding a place that still smells like your old trauma. Sometimes healing feels like failure, because you thought you'd be done by now. But healing doesn't move in straight lines, it spirals. You revisit the same pain from a new angle. You grieve what happened and what never did. You cry not because you're weak, but because your soul is releasing what your mouth couldn't say. And that's the work. Not just posting about healing, but sitting in it, holding space for it, not running from the parts of you that still ache. Challenge yourself. Write a short letter to the past version of you who didn't have the tools you have now. Keep it real, no sugar, and end with this. You're safe now. I've got us. Read it aloud. You are the protector now, the cycle ender, the witness. You keep trying to explain yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. You keep shrinking to make others comfortable, dulling your shine so you don't look too much. But here's the truth. Alignment will cost you approval, especially from the ones who only loved your survival self, not the evolved version, not the you who sets boundaries, not the you who says, nah, that doesn't serve me anymore. You are not for everybody, and you're not supposed to be. Trying to be universally liked is spiritual self-sabotage. Some people were only in your life to walk you to the gate, not through it. Let them think you've changed, because you have. And if that offends them, it means they benefited from your lack of boundaries. Challenge yourself. Unfollow 3 accounts or people whose energy reinforces the version of you you've outgrown. You don't need closure. You need clarity. Protect your frequency like it's sacred, because it is. You ever get this strange pull to do something different, but you can't explain why? Like suddenly you want to move cities, change your friend group, start waking up earlier, or stop tolerating surface conversations. That's not a random mood. That's your future self sending downloads. Future you is already living in alignment, already leveled up, already past the detours you're still making excuses for. That whisper you hear, it's not your imagination. It's a message. Future you is saying, I need you to close that door so this one can open. I need you to stop settling so you can receive what's actually for you. But here's the twist. Most people ignore the future because they're too busy arguing with their past. Challenge yourself by asking, what's one change I keep feeling called to make that I haven't acted on yet? Now flip the question. What will it cost me to stay the same? And take one small action toward your future today, even if it's just deleting the old story. You've been waiting for that apology, that explanation, that I'm sorry for what I did to you. But truth bomb, closure is often a self-created ceremony. Waiting for them to give it to you is like waiting for rain in the desert, from someone who never meant to water you in the first place. You keep rehearsing the memory, replaying what you could have said, trying to make sense of something senseless. But alignment means learning to let go without a final chapter. Not everything ends with a bow. Some things end in silence, in truth, in realizing that wasn't love. That was attachment disguised as destiny. Challenge yourself. Write the closure conversation you'll never have, as if they responded with everything you needed to hear. Then read it once. Burn it, delete it, or bury it. This isn't for them. It's for your freedom. The door doesn't need to close with them. It just needs you to close. The world keeps telling you to move faster, post more, build more, be more. But the universe, sometimes it whispers. Pause, reflect, breathe. You're not lazy for needing rest. You're not behind for unplugging. You are a soul in a human body, not a machine with a deadline. The pause isn't punishment. It's preparation. You wouldn't yank a seed out of the soil to check its progress. So stop doing that to yourself. Your becoming requires space. Your power is quiet before it gets loud. Challenge yourself. Take 15 minutes today. No phone, no playlist, no multitasking. Just breathe. Let your mind wander. Let the stillness speak. And then ask yourself, what am I rushing that actually needs reverence? Write the answer. That's your sacred slowdown signal. You ever notice when you finally choose yourself? People start saying, "You've changed." You stop people-pleasing, they call you selfish. You leave a toxic job, they say you're impulsive. You outgrow the circle, they say you think you're better. But here's the truth. They're not reacting to your change. They're reacting to their own discomfort. Your healing exposes their unhealed. Your clarity reveals their chaos. And your growth threatens the version of you that made them comfortable. Let them talk. You didn't come here to be understood by everyone. You came here to embody the blueprint they'll wish they followed later. And alignment isn't always applause. Sometimes it's solitude. But that solitude, it's sacred. It's strengthening. It's where your real power roots. Challenge yourself. Do one thing this week that aligns with your future, even if it confuses your present circle. Post it. Speak it. Move in it. Your job is to be authentic, not accepted. This final message isn't soft. It's a wake-up. Because deep down, you already know who you are. You already know what needs to go. You already know what lights your fire and what dims your glow. You're not confused. You're just afraid of what happens if you stop pretending you don't know. That next level version of you, they're not waiting to be discovered. They're waiting to be embodied. Enough reading, enough consuming, enough waiting for the right moment. This is the right moment. You don't need more time. You need more decision. You don't need another breakthrough. You need follow-through. The you that's aligned, they're not perfect, but they're present. They're honest. They're done with delays. And here's your final challenge. Say it out loud. I am no longer becoming. I am now being. Then take action within the next 24 hours that proves it. These weren't just thoughts. They were codes, reminders, downloads. Each one designed not just to inspire, but to realign. So don't just let this episode end. Let it begin something. Revisit a message. Replay a challenge. Reflect on what hit deep. And if it moved you, don't gatekeep your growth. Send it to someone who's ready for their realignment as well. You're not lost. You're not late. You're not behind. You are decoding your next dimension. And if you enjoyed this episode, please take a listen to volumes 1 and 2, which are episodes 8 and 9 of this season. And as always, challenge accepted. Universe approved. Future you unlocked. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for coming back, and have a great week.